Hello, Garage fam. It is Garage Talk. I'm Garage Guy Chase. I'm joined with Dale Tanhardt. And today on Garage Talk, for the second time in history, we have a driver that is not a NASCAR driver on this show. And we're very excited about this one. It's our old pal, Scotty Mack, Scott Mclaughlin, driver of the number 3 Team Penske Chevy Dallara in the IndyCar Series. Scott, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. We are glad that you're here.
Yep. G'day, lads. Thanks for having me. I think we first met whilst we were all pretty cross-eyed at a middle of a nightclub. And it's fantastic that I can manage to, get a little relationship, continue it going. Obviously, you're good friends with my mate Connor Daly, and I know Ryan Blaney's been on the show a few times. And it's good to be here, and hopefully I can provide some entertainment for your listeners.
Dude, so that was a very fun weekend. That was the NASCAR IndyCar crossover. That arcade bar. What is that arcade bar called in Indy? That's where it kind of started.
Level Up.
16-bit. 16-bit, I think.
That's it, 16-bit. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good spot. That's like Connor's go-to pre-drinks, basically, right?
Yeah, a good pregame spot. What is your favorite? What's like your favorite spot in Indy? While we're on that subject, because I've been an Indy guy forever. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been around that much. I mean, you go to big nightclub's Envy, isn't it? So you go there and party, but I don't know. There's a lot of I mean, we've been up in like Carmel before. It's like pretty nice up there too. But downtown Indy, oh man, I'd go for anything. I took my team before the Indy 500 to Fogo de Chao there. Dude, it was fire. That was awesome. I know it's a chain, but it was awesome. Drinks wise, mate, take me anywhere, I'll be fine.
Yeah, Envy.
Love that.
That club.
Oh, the Oakmont.
We got
spoiled
there.
The Oakmont. That's the spot. I love that place. I've been there a few times with Connor. Really good spot. For anyone that wants to drink some food there. Good food, good drinks.
Yeah, write it down for May, everybody. The Oakmont. That's where we're going.
The Oakmont. Yeah, I'll be there for the food for sure. Now, I was gonna say at Envy, man, we got spoiled over there. It's always a good spot to be at. It's the thing that trips me out the most about that place is the mirrors in the bathrooms.
Yeah, they're wild, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's just like you're just sitting there. Like if you're pee shy, dude, you're fucked. Like
you're done. Yeah. There's no turning back.
First time.
That's the night that Colton Herter came out of a cake in the middle of the dance floor. You remember that?
Yeah. Wait,
yeah.
Was it his birthday? Was it his birthday?
It was Connor's mate Deepu's birthday.
It was Deepu.
Yeah. And
Deepu's a good guy.
Oh, legend, and knows nearly everyone in Indy. It's crazy.
He does. Yeah, he's so fun to be around, man. We've had some good times with old Deepu.
Yeah, massive Rick Mears fan. That guy like rolls off stats like it's on the edge of his tongue. It's crazy.
He's a fantastic human being. Him and a couple of the other guys that he runs with. So they're always very hospitable, very, very down to chill. So we love that. But yeah, we've had some fun times. I'll never forget too. We're talking about you and on the subject of you, like you're from New Zealand. I remember like one thing you were telling me about was I was asking about your shirt. It was Garfield. You were like a big Garfield fan. You were like, well, growing up in New Zealand, it's like we just had like Garfield. That was like all it was on TV. Like, was that real?
Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying to you, but I think I remember that shirt, and that thing was absolutely done after that night. But it was one of my favorite shirts. But big Garfield fan. I mean, many people know what Garfield is. Puma did a collaboration there, so I just jumped on board and got one of those online.
Do you have a cat? Are you a cat guy?
I originally was a cat guy. Like in terms of my family, my dad always had cats. And then when I was a kid, we got cats, and then we eventually got a dog, and it was the best thing we ever did. So I'm probably cat and dog. I don't mind them. I don't mind cats, but I'm more of a dog guy now.
No, I know. Dale's a big dog guy. Does a lot with the dogs.
Yeah, my family does a lot with dogs. I like cats too now. I used to like hate cats growing up, but they're actually
my wife hates them. My wife hates cats.
That explains it. That's why you don't have cats.
Cats are just so easy, dude. They are a lot easier to kind of take care of, but there's definitely less personality in my experience with cats.
Oh, I agree.
Like dogs.
I mean, there's some people that say, that their cats are like, they're pretty cool. They come and hang out and whatnot. But then I've known cats that you don't even see them. They just they pop in. Oh, that's our cat. We see him every once in a while.
Right.
Yeah, it's different.
They can take care of themselves. They don't even need us,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're on their own wave. It's weird too. I was just doing like some studying. I found out that cats have like 3% consciousness compared to dogs at 7%, which I didn't see coming. Because you would want to think that, like, I've been doing a lot of big data science, by the way, Scott. I've been very busy in the lab.
Respect that.
But that was a wild stat. I didn't see that coming at all. So
the pretty stiff sort of 4% different there. So it's interesting, where they, how that affects their consciousness, right? It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's weird, man. So I will say that I do like the cats, but the dogs. Every dog has his day. We have a dog. I have a basset hound. And Dale told me when I got him that it was going to be the most annoying dog in the world. And it kind of turned out that he likes to bite my hand. He wants to run away with it like a bone. So this is the first time that I've experienced that with a dog in my entire life. So
great. We're making progress.
They're so fucking loud, dude. They're so loud.
When you have a 7-year-old, it doesn't really help. But but yeah. But I will say this, with the New Zealand deal, even though that kind of tied in weird, I was going to ask, so just a random question. Do you like Lorde? Does everyone in New Zealand listen to Lorde?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I got a few of her songs on my Spotify account. But I wouldn't say I go out of my way to go to a concert or anything like that. I think she's all right. I mean, she's had a couple of bangers here and there, but I don't think no, New Zealand aren't like, oh my God, we love Lorde because she's from New Zealand. I mean, she's very young.
Yeah. Like, who's the big New Zealand musicians that America doesn't need to know they need to be put onto? Because Lorde kind of like stole the cake.
Yeah. Yep. New Zealand musicians. I should know this, but I don't. I mean, no, I don't. I can't. Not off the top of my head, man. All
right, so that leads me to this. New Zealand, it's like, for me, it's Scotty, Mack, and Lorde. So Scotty, Mack, Lorde.
I'm happy with that. Let's forget it. I mean, Lorde is definitely below me, yeah, for sure. No doubt. But no. Let's just say I'm your favorite New Zealand race driver. That's a pretty big deal.
Didn't they also film Lord of the Rings in New Zealand? Is that true? Now I think that goes above Lorde for me.
Yeah, well, I never watched Lord of the Rings, funny enough, but my mum and dad, do you know Hobbiton? It's like there's like a little city that was basically where they filmed all the Hobbit stuff, and that is literally 5 minutes from my house in New Zealand.
So those houses are real.
Yeah, they are. Like, the whole set is real. Like, you can go there and it's like all miniature stuff, and yeah, it's crazy.
That is actually badass.
But I'm not into it.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
I'm right into, like, love Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, right into that. I just never got into Lord of the Rings. I should start. I probably should start. Yeah.
Man, right. I know a lot of people don't fuck with elves, dude. I mean, that's kind of like what they're like considered hobbits.
Everything. See, that's the thing for me is like everything after Lord of the Rings, which I saw it early when I was like 5 years old, right, and was obsessed. Felt like everything in that like fantasy type of field just felt like a Lord of the Rings spinoff. That's kind of why I've never watched Game of Thrones, really, because I watched the first couple episodes and was like, this is a spinoff of Lord of the Rings.
Like heads getting chopped off and shit. It was like crazy, but like like the thing is with like Lord of the Rings is, I was sort of not really into it when I was a kid. Like I really struggled like to fantasize like that sort of like troll. I could fantasize plenty of things when I was young. Don't worry about that. But like there was definitely things that I like, like trolls and stuff. There was, it was crazy. But I literally just finished watching Harry Potter. That I've only just got through all those now. And
that's pain for me.
Yeah, you love Harry Potter?
My wife does, and she made me watch every one of them, like in 2016, and I just agreed to it. It was like our child was like 1 year old, and like one weekend she's like, let's just binge them, and I'm like, okay, and I was just not impressed. I don't know. I read the books when I was a kid.
I'm not a Harry Potter guy either.
I never read the books because I can't get my mind going. I just don't have the imagination. But I think the reason I just watched Harry Potter was just well, there's so many people who watched it, so I'm just gonna watch it, and we just
Did
got
you
into it. But
did
yeah,
you like it? Did you like him? How'd
yeah.
you?
I mean, I like Game of Thrones better and stuff, but I didn't. I'm low key Harry Potter guy, which makes me think, do I try Lord of the Rings? So maybe
I think
that
I
might
think
be the next thing.
I think you should, but it's very time consuming. You might have to wait.
Yeah.
Might have to wait till next year at this rate because
Yeah,
they take a very shit ton of
I
time.
don't have the patience as well. I struggle a little
Yeah.
bit with
It sounds like you're like a wizard spells guy. I'm a big wizard spells guy. I'm big into Knights of the Round Table, like like Merlin, like OG wizards.
yeah, the OGs. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get you. I mean, I
You gotta
I
have the respect
appreciate
for that.
magic. I appreciate magic and
Mm-hmm.
spells. I
Me too,
appreciate
man. I love
to
that
learn
shit.
that.
It's
Yeah,
great,
like
dude. It's real
good.
too. Mental,
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'd love to like run through a wall and then get on an imaginary train and go to the Hogwarts Museum. Like it'd be
or play
sick.
Quidditch.
Yeah, like imagine that.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Like that's a tough game. Like they hit hard and like will die. Like it's
Have,
full on.
have you
You
seen
know,
that they really do that? They really have like Quidditch tournaments at like
I'm
colleges and stuff.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
they actually have Quidditch as like a class at a lot of universities, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah,
I
my
didn't know
school,
that.
A class?
Mississippi State had it. I'm pretty
No
sure.
way.
Yeah, I swear.
Wow.
Oh my
I've seen it at a bunch of different universities where you can like do Quidditch. I can't remember what they classify it as, but I'm sure people in the comments
It
can
must be like
reaffirm this
PE, like
for me.
phys ed, like physical education. But that
Dude, yeah, like they'll have fucking brooms and shit just running around. I swear.
how did that's a big school too. Like that's crazy. Wow,
That's Mississippi State. That's what blows my mind.
yeah,
Like that's
Now,
going down.
I'll
That's
have to
going down in
check back about
Starkville.
Mississippi State. I'll have to check back, but I'm pretty sure when I was there, I remember seeing it. But I have for sure seen it at some
Well,
universities. It is a
Yeah.
thing.
Maybe we should do that. Like one race weekend. Just get the guys together. We'll just throw down a Quidditch match in the infield of a racetrack.
Oh yeah, give me a baton. I'd love to go after a couple of the other drivers for sure.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing that's a little bit like Quidditch to me that I'm not that familiar with like how to play it or never have played it is the Australian Supercar Series, which is what you raced in and you were a 3-time champion in. Shout out to the number 3. You do ride for the number 3. There's a lot of 3 energy. We'll get into that, but this Australian Supercars league. So like, what are the major differences for dummies version? Like if someone has never watched it, they're like a NASCAR fan, IndyCar fan, whatever. Like, how would you explain it?
Okay, so the new car that NASCAR has is basically a supercar, like very close to a supercar. So that's what we used to run in Australia. So you could basically say that it's the NASCAR of Australia and New Zealand without doing ovals. You could say that. It's our premier motorsport in Australia and New Zealand. It's really like people, make a very good career out of racing down under there. It's it's pretty high regarded all over the world. We only race on road and street tracks. So similar kind of to the IndyCar where we do a couple ovals here and there, but there's not much differences to NASCAR though, the supercar wise. Like it's a very heavy car, lots of power, very loud. You can beat and bang on other people. It's a really tough category, and with some really really good teams in it as well.
Yeah, so it's interesting watching all the road course action in NASCAR this year. If you go watch slivers of highlights of supercars, the road course racing action was very similar to what you see in a typical supercar race, I thought. And my knowledge of supercars is very low. I've seen, I know the premier event is like the Bathurst 1000. Yep. And I've just always thought they look so fun. Yeah. Everything about it, they look so fun to drive, right?
Oh, they're wicked cars. That track up there is actually Bathurst, that one there, but I've got it on my wall.
How about that? Love that.
Yeah. So I got that one and then I got Indy on this side. But it's that is our Bathurst is our Daytona 500, our Indianapolis 500. It's our biggest event. The racing, it's awesome. You can, probably one thing about our cars, they're probably a little bit more agile. They can sort of move around a bit more like a GT car, a little bit more downforce and a few things. But yeah, ultimately it's very similar racing to what you see now in NASCAR on the road courses. There's just probably more people that have been doing road courses and street courses their whole lives compared to like guys and girls over here that have done ovals their whole lives, and now they've just started to dabble a little bit into road courses, and they're starting to learn the ranks. And you had like a guy like Kimi Räikkönen come out like for the Watkins Glen, and he was running pretty good, like running decent. And there was guys like Blaney and stuff that were following him in the wet, especially, and learning stuff off him. Where I think that would be the same. Like if someone like Shane Van Gisbergen, who's like the champion right now, he's just won 2 championships in a row. Like if he come over to NASCAR, which I really think there's a very high chance he could with the Project 91 stuff, I think he would be like really, really fast, because it's just his kettle of fish.
And by the way, this race we're talking about, the Bathurst 1000, is a 620-mile race, which is like unheard of in a Premier Series road course race. And you won it back in 2019. And one thing I really didn't know is that you guys have co-drivers, right? Like, do you guys alternate in every single race, or just for these longer endurance races?
No, so Bathurst is Bathurst, and then sometimes they have like a 500-kilometer race, which is the half the distance. Before that, before Bathurst is a warm up, but you do those races as a co-driver combo. So my co-driver when I won Bathurst was Alex Premer. He's a French guy. He now lives in LA. Pretty well known in the sort of open wheel touring car ranks. He was actually a teammate for Lewis Hamilton back in the day. Raced GP2 or the Formula 2 category for many years, and just didn't get a shot in Formula 1. But he came back to supercars, raced with me, and we won Bathurst, and should have really won it a couple more times too. We missed out just by a little bit, and it was an awesome. We had an awesome partnership. But you do, it's like a 7-hour race. You're back and forth. I normally would start the race, and then Alex would jump in for an hour or so, and then I'd get back in, and he'd get back in, and then I would traditionally I would finish with like a 3.5, 4-hour stint to finish the race, which was always a lot of fun. There was always lots of stuff going on, fuel saving and whatnot. It's an awesome race at everyone, and a track that is so unique. Like there's nothing like it in the world. Like there's so many blind corners. The elevation is crazy. It's just incredible, and highly recommend like you guys ever to go. If you went down under, like go to Bathurst. Like there's campers. Like it's just a party. It's an amazing event, and something that should be on the bucket list for every motorsport fan.
Dude, I want to go down under so bad. I want to go. I've like fantasized about Australia for a long time. Sounds like a great spot.
Love it.
I think I just realized what the series is. So they race Holden Commodores, don't they?
Yeah, they used to. Like they've just gone to like the Chevy Camaro now for this year.
RIP to the Holdens. That's my last name. So I felt like I was obliged to have one of those cars.
Yeah.
I needed one. But I think I remember a video a while back. Didn't Darrell Waltrip ride with somebody going like stupid fast, and he was like screaming, and that was like the whole like premise of like Ricky Bobby, of like the character, I think.
Yeah. It was like everything that Ricky Bobby really consisted of. It was crazy. But Darrell Waltrip, he went around, and like at Bathurst, because it's so dangerous, they don't normally do rides in a supercar there. They normally never put a passenger in there. So they put him in, and he was one of the first people that I've seen go around there in a supercar beside someone. And it was so funny, the video. I think it's like 2011 or something. It was like hilarious.
Oh my God. All right. So
I've never
that
seen
resonates.
Yeah.
That's badass. When did that happen? What year? How long ago was that?
2011, I think. It was like just before I did my first Bathurst. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First year out of high school for me. Wild times.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were about that same age. Me and you are the same age, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. What are you, 29?
I'm about to be 31.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're a year up on me.
He's old, dude.
Yeah, he's on the same age,
crazy,
mate.
Man.
You got a little bit ahead of me.
I'm still that guy watching football. Like, damn, like these dudes are like children. Like,
isn't that weird though? Like, there's some like Colton come over and stayed at my house in Australia for like just a week or so, just gone. And Colton Herter I'm talking about, and he said, I'm like, oh, how old are you? He's like, oh, I'm 22. I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. He's like, it's easy for me. I'm born in the year 2000. I'm like, oh my God, that's so weird.
That's when it hurts.
Dude,
you just remember. I
he's
remember like the Happy New Year for Millennium, and everyone thought the bloody world was gonna end.
Yeah.
And then I'm like
Y2K, baby.
I'm hanging out with Colton, having a beer, like drinking with this kid that was born in 2000.
Isn't that so? That is so weird to me because I'm going on 27 this year, and my little brother was born in 2000, and it's just so weird, like seeing him even drink. It just blows my mind, dude. Time is just constantly fun.
It's scary, man. Like I thought I was like 21, like not long ago. It's just, and everyone says, "Oh, creep up on you," and you're like, "Yeah, whatever." And
you blink.
Here we are.
Yeah. I like the times now. I feel like we grew up in like between like 2010 and 2015 was kind of like, looking back, it was just kind of like this strange period of time.
Yeah.
And like now
I think
I'm
the
just
world's pretty cool. Like things that you can do now and travel and like the social media, even though sometimes it can be bad as well. Like it's pretty cool. Like you can see so many cool things now. And I feel like there's so many trends going around that, like, even though sometimes they're bad, but like TikTok trends and stuff, like, people bar hopping and stuff and doing bits and pieces. Like I saw this trend the other day, people dressed up as golfers and went to 18 different bars, like pretending it was golf. And then it was like, that was like a game.
The bar hops.
Yeah, but you had like 2 beers and that made you 2 under kind of thing, and whoever won in that, and you could only be in the bar for like 20 minutes, kind of like how long you're on a hole for.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny.
We ran into some girls doing that, Dale. I don't know if you remember that. That was like somewhere outside of Alabama. It was like at a Hooters.
Weren't they at Hooters? I think that was just I think they were pre-gaming for like a swap or something. It was like the golf pros tennis hose thing, that theme or whatever.
She was telling me they were like doing a crawl or something like that, but similar. But like your point, Scott, like, like the trends and stuff, like the technology is just like, I wanted this at 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got it when we got it, and that's why we are where we are. So I feel like people are definitely different nowadays, and like it's going from differences, talking about changes in life. I mean, you going from supercar series to IndyCar. Did you see that coming? Was that something that like you wanted? Like, were you like after that? Like, was IndyCar the one? Because like you said, it seems like the NASCAR car now would be similar to the supercar. Like, was NASCAR an option at any point, or was it just always, I want to get in the spaceship car?
Yeah, no, look, I always thought that I was associated with Penske down under, obviously, and I always thought that the natural progression for me would be NASCAR. And it wasn't until like 2019, Tim Cindric, president of Penske Racing, and Roger, he sort of come up to me and said, "Hey, would you ever consider IndyCar?" And I mean, I've always watched IndyCar since I was a kid. They said, like, the lifestyle's a little different. It's not as much time on the road. They could suit you a little bit better, very similar to the supercars, more road and street tracks, couple ovals, you race in the Indy 500. Like there was plenty of cool things going on. And like I said, I had watched IndyCars and I was a fan of it. I was still watching, at that time, I think Joseph won the championship that year in 2019. Like I was watching it pretty avidly. And when he said it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, do you think like I feel like I have to be a jockey. Like I feel like I have to be small to get in one of these cars. And they're like, no, you'll be right. And they were right. Sure enough, it happened. And I'm so grateful. Like I love IndyCar. I love the life that we have here now. Like it's not like we're not 100% on the road all the time, as much as I love being on the road. Like we have our off weekends, 2 or 3 weeks sometimes. And you just have a lifestyle away from the track too, which I really like. And play golf and do bits and pieces, and it's fun. But did never sort of envision that, I probably would have been as successful as I have been early. Like it's been great last year having a few wins and stuff, and it really sort of cemented me. And I've just got to keep working harder because I really think we can have a good run at the championship this year.
Speaking of the Cindrics, behind me here, I love introducing everybody to this. I have a betting program, a motorsports betting program. I'm going to have IndyCar drivers' pictures this year, but this is Tim Cindric's son right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in a really bad spot on the betting side of things. Me and Austin Cindric have a great. I wouldn't even say love hate. It's a hate relationship. because
no.
he's costed me a lot of money.
You went on him for the 500 last year?
No, I did not. And I had Blaney, and he kind of walled him at the end. We actually asked Blaney about that. We asked Blaney.
Did ya?
I was like, I'm sure you guys like he made up, y'all made up or whatever. He's apologized to you. I was like, do you think Austin should apologize to me too for costing me my 401k? And he was like, yeah, for sure. Like he should apologize. So we're trying to get as many people as possible to hop on this train of blaming Austin Cindric.
Yeah, I think Austin should apologize. It's only fair. I had a dude that I was walking down Gasoline Alley before Indy 500 last year, and he yelled out to me, he's like, "Good luck, Scott. I got 20 grand on you for the win." I was like,
no pressure.
And then I crashed. Yeah.
Now that.
I was like, oh, yep, my bad. But I didn't see that guy again, thankfully, because he probably would have punched me in the face.
That's his fault, dude. You ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'll tell you what.
Nothing to do with that. No, I love it though. I love betting on IndyCar, man. That was fun. I think our worst beat was probably the Bommarito 500 last year because we had you. We had.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did have you there.
Oh, I think I remember you guys telling me that before the start.
Yeah, because dude, we were like infatuated. Which our next question kind of relates to this, but I will say I had you at Nashville. That was a heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker.
I had
Nashville and Gateway. Like Nashville, like we got screwed like 3 times, and we still come back and nearly won. And then Portland, Gateway, like we if that rain didn't come, we were cruising. So it was like 40 to go in front, we'll be fine.
Oh yeah, we were doing a rain dance. We were like hoping they were gonna call it, but
I forgot. I forgot that they had the rain.
Bad memories.
Yeah. I wish they called it because I don't want to get going again. But.
So Gateway was really fun, and we love the people at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And of course, yes, we got to meet you. Well, we met you before, but we met Joseph there too after he had won that race. But we were on team number 3 all day long, and we were very infatuated with the Thirsty Threes slogan. And I actually don't know, like, where did this come from? Where did the Thirsty Threes come from, and why did it become such a thing for you?
I asked my engineer last year. I was like, "Hey man, we need a hashtag. Like, let's get us like." They used to have he was the engineer for Simon Pagenaud in the 22 car, and it was like 22 to the front or something like that. 2 to the front. I can't remember what it was, but it was quite a good hashtag. I'm like, oh, I want something like that. He just come back, and I think he was on the gas at that point, and he's just like, we should call it hashtag Thirsty Threes. I'm like, I kind of like that because like we're thirsty for like just wins and fun and just getting after it. And
in general,
yeah, absolutely, yeah, do it for Dale. And at the end of the day, we just were like, let's get it done. And honestly, Lee Diffie's got onto it on the commentary. Like fans are like yelling out Thirsty Threes along with Bus Bros and stuff too. It's like, it's nuts. But it's become a very good hashtag and something that, now it's actually like we have like a team like building exercise to start the year, and it's like a honorary thing now to be a Thirsty Three. Like it's a proper deal now in the shop, which is pretty cool.
I know exactly what I'm doing for the first IndyCar race that I do select you to win. I'm going to take 3 just bottles of water and just chug them immensely, just like right here, because I'm not a beer guy. I'll do the Budweiser Zeros and stuff, but I'm not a big alcohol guy.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna whatever I have, 3 of them chugged. That's Thirsty 3 energy.
Yeah, well, do it out of your shoe if we win.
That's the kind of thing I like. Yeah,
I've never done the shoey. Can I do it in Victory Lane?
Well, I never really wanted to do it, and I had a fan yell out to me at St. Pete when I won, and they're like, "Do a shoey." I'm like, and they're like, "Shoey," and you can't say like no. So I was like, "All right, well, I'll do it." And then it's just become a thing now. IndyCar, like every time I win, I have to like get a photo of me doing a shoey and everything. I'm like, oh, I don't love this. I didn't create this. It's not a thing, but I guess I'm from down under and we do it down there. So
are you doing it out of your race worn shoe, or you have like another shoe on deck? Okay, yeah. See, that's
the boot. Normally,
are they new shoes? Do you get new shoes every week?
Every couple, I'll probably have new shoes. Yeah.
Is that considered cheating? Because you're not getting the full effect of the stank in the shoe.
Yeah. I'd hate to do it. I'd hate to do it out of a shoe that's like a year in. That'd be bad.
Like if it's a race shoe? Look how
God,
That's
see,
pretty
that's
bad.
revolting.
It's
I couldn't do
raunch.
that. No way.
I'm not wearing these to do a shoot.
I'd do
Now,
it.
how
but
about
I
this?
just, what's that?
If you are coming up on a race that you're like, oh, I think we're gonna have a good chance to win, are you like requesting clean shoes because you're like, hey, we're probably gonna win or have a better chance of winning? Let's get the new shoes on deck, right? Let's get
I
the
don't mind
question.
it. I don't mind. That's a great question. It's something I've never really thought of. But no, I haven't done that initially, but I think that's a great point. If I feel like I'm going up to like Mid Ohio, like where we won last year, maybe I just get like a new shoe, make it easy on myself if we do win. But yeah,
I'm
or
gonna take
maybe I
some
just
notes
go,
about
hey,
this.
let's just request like new shoes every round, and then we're good.
I'm gonna make sure you get the new shoes. We'll keep that. I think that's an okay rule. I think Dale, you think that's okay?
Yeah,
New
that's
shoes
fair.
for
That's fair.
shoes?
That's fine.
All right, we're good with that. So you were talking about. I heard you mention Bus Bros. I have actually looked into this. I think the relationship between you and New Garden is hilarious. So we don't know New Garden as well as we know you or like Connor, but the content that you guys have is like right up my alley. Like it's kind of just like that off the wall absurdist comedy, and it's fun and it's a good time. And one thing that I've noticed, is that when you guys are together, y'all vibe high. Y'all are both going to be running in the Rolex 24, which is going to be a big deal. How did all of that get roped in, and what are your expectations for that race?
Yeah, like I think we do have a pretty genuine relationship, me and Joseph, but we are very competitive. So there's been points where we butt heads a little bit, but like it's nothing. Like I'd rather do that than be fake towards each other, and I think that's why. Yeah, I think that's why Bus Bros has gone so well. Bus Bros is just, mate, like we started it. We had no idea what we're doing and just talk absolute rubbish. And it's somehow people have got on board and loved it. And we've really enjoyed it. So we've got a lot, and it sort of enables us as well to be a little bit like ourselves. We're pretty we like having a bit of fun and not taking it too seriously, especially off the track. But when we are in track, it's like right in. But the Rolex thing sort of come along. I was sort of looking for a ride, and Joseph actually messaged me and said, "Hey, email this dude. They're looking for another driver. It would be cool to race Rolex together." And an LMP2, whatever. And I'd never done this before and never done the race. And I've always wanted to do it. And I ended up emailing the guys at Tower Motorsports, or like the people that look after me did. And, we just went from there, and the deal was done in maybe less than a week. So it's worked out really good. So start with the 24-hour this weekend or next weekend. And really excited. It's going to be fun to race with Joseph in a different sort of capacity. Back to sort of my roots, how Bathurst was, doing driver changes and whatnot. Racing at night, hopefully. I really want to do I'd love to do like a 1 a.m., 2 a.m. shift. It'd be awesome. I think it'd be just such a...
That's what I was going to ask, if you knew what time you were going to be running.
I don't know, but I know if I do run at like 2 a.m., I'm going to have to like rip a Celsius or rip like a espresso just to get me going.
I'll be out there in the grass, like doing probably like acrobatic shit, like just randomly. Yeah.
You'll be like that guy with the fireworks, just watching the fireworks and stuff, just doing acrobats.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have some fun with it for sure. But
nice.
I can't wait to do that. I know that Dale is excited as well. It'll be our first time going to the Rolex 24.
Yeah, me too.
And so see, that's even better. So there's big energy around that. Are you gonna bring the Pikachu suit? Because you've wore that a lot. I've seen you wear that in a lot of stuff. So it's safe to say you're a Pokemon guy.
Oh yeah, a little bit of a Pokemon guy, but I actually threw that bad boy out. I sweated so much in that thing, and just it was rank.
No.
So yeah. Oh, I wore it on like a 95.
You get a Charizard one?
What's that?
You gonna get a Charizard one?
Oh, Charizard, yeah. He's the OG, isn't he? But I got a Pikachu one because it's like, I mean, he's the guy.
Everybody knows Pikachu. Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, exactly.
What are your three favorite Pokemon?
But I don't know anyone other than those two.
Okay. All right. That answers me.
Squirtle.
Like we're talking, we talked to like, if we're sitting there talking to Connor, he's like, dude, I just opened up new packs. And like, I'm telling you, he's like, I got those guys. Like, those are the guys. Yeah.
I know Pokemon. I heard about it, but I'm not like right into it. But like, I'm a Pikachu guy if I am a Pokemon guy, right?
Okay.
So, everyone's a Pikachu guy.
Absolutely.
You know what? Pikachu has like electricity, right? Isn't that what Pikachu's like? So
Isn't he like the
This
most strongest person? He's like the strongest one. Like,
Nah, I wouldn't
No?
say
I
that.
thought it was
It's like
like
Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
Oh, okay.
How do we both
Oh,
knew that?
that's like
Holy
the
shit!
little. I sort of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was a
Mewtwo's
big Pokemon kid, dude. I went to Books a Million and played tournaments, dude. I was all in,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, you're
See,
right.
yeah, I did that with Yu-Gi-Oh, but you could play with Mewtwo. You ever played Super Smash Brothers, Scott?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Dang, dude,
No, no, no.
Smash. You
So
could play
yeah,
with you could play as Mewtwo in Smash, so that's kind of where I remember Mewtwo. It was like he's like a badass like pink thing. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it.
Just
He's sick though.
generates like space balls out of his hands, and he'll just like blow you to oblivion, kind
yeah.
of like or oblivion. That's the right word.
But what I was gonna go with real quick, we had a great conversation with Connor about Indy 500 and kind of the state of IndyCar. And Indy 500 is what got my attention into the sport a long, long time ago. And I've been coming to Indy for a long time. It's like my second home. And we reiterate it so much as NASCAR guys. To me, the best motorsports event on earth is the Indy 500. And I think the best sporting event to go to on earth is the Indy 500. Take it even further. What has been your experience with you talk about how Bathurst is a big party environment like that. The Indy 500, if anyone has been, the Indy 500 is a big party event like that as well. And the high stakes of the race is there's just nothing like it. So, what has been your experience? I know we talked about going out in Indy at a different time, but the whole vibe on that weekend, just take us away on what that event has been like to you.
Yeah, look, so like last year was probably the first time that I've been to the event in full capacity or been a part of the event at full capacity. So it was incredible, just the parade and how it goes on. I think one thing that's really cool about Indy is and the 500 is it's not just Indianapolis that gets around. It's like the whole state, like that whole Midwest area. Like it's just pummeled with people and tradition and there's people in the houses, when you drive into the track, they got flags up, they're dressed up their houses. Like everyone in town at that point is there for the race or knows the race and is all in on the race. And that's what I like. But then you've also got like the snake pit. You've got like, the bits and pieces outside of it that people have no idea about the race or don't want to know about it. All they're there is to have a good time and party on Memorial Day weekend, which is really cool. And I think I've never been that emotional before like a race, but man, like when they're doing like the minute silence and bits and pieces and saluting the troops and listening to the national anthem with the jets flying over, dude, it's the most patriotic thing I've ever been a part of in my life. And it's like it makes me like I'm not a citizen yet, but it makes me want to be a US citizen, and I will be one day. I'm gonna go for it, and it's such an amazing. It makes you like well up and. Initially, the first year when it all happened, when I raced in 21, I sort of teared up a little bit because I think it was a big moment. Mum and Dad weren't there, couldn't get over because of COVID, was so over it. But then I actually did it. I teared up again last year just because I think it was again the moment, and I was like, no, that was a filthy excuse with Mum and Dad. They were right behind me at the time. Like it's just that moment is just like unreal. It's one of the most coolest, most exhilarating pieces of motorsport you can ever see or do or be a part of. It's amazing.
How difficult is the race itself, just for people that don't know much about it?
It's tough because just it goes by so fast, but if you make one mistake, you're done. Like you're absolutely finished, whether it's in the pit lane, whether through a pit stop or coming out of the pits or at the start of the race, you can just find yourself on the back foot so easily. So I've had really two bad races there, and it's purely, I think, with a bit bad experience. Like the first year, we were running a pretty solid sixth, and I sped into pit lane, which just killed me for the day. I was basically a lap down for the rest of the day. And then, last year I got caught. You've always, one thing around that track, you're always constantly looking at the wind and what the car's doing and, the flags above the grandstand, you're looking at those and figuring out what you're going to do with the car. If you have a little bit of a headwind going into turn 3, a tailwind, going into turn 3, it's going to understeer in the middle of the corner and get tight and push you out to the fence. So I'd sort of set up my car that I was going into turn 3 and I'd set my car up, or I've got a bit of a tailwind. I'm going to set it up so I have a little bit more softer front bar so I can turn in a little bit harder. And the wind dropped as I turned in, and I had adjusted for more turns, so the car was really aggressive to the corner, and it just snapped, and boom, I was in the fence, and it was like a 75, 80 G hit. Like when things go bad there,
Wow.
it's like it just happens like that. It was crazy.
Yeah. Like a flash of time. Like that right there, like what you just said, like everything you just said is the gap between like regular people and race car drivers. You're going 200 and something miles an hour looking at the way that a flag is going, and you can process that.
Like 240. 240, right?
Yeah. That is like you've got to preempt it. You're thinking, okay, well, I need a little bit, maybe a softer front bar to get it turned a bit faster, and then you get to like the middle of the corner and the wind drops and it just turns too hard. You snap and you go into the fence.
Does everything slow down when you're in that?
I think it's all relative. Like when you're running with the field, it's like, oh, this is not that fast. This is all right. Like you just get used to it. But it's when something goes wrong, or you have a moment coming to pit road, or you have a moment out there and crash, like that's when it's like, wow, like this is no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, this is like
I was
legit.
going to
like,
space. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Like, oh man, like those hits were two of the biggest hits I've had in my career, and it just happened in like 3 seconds. It was nuts.
Shout out to our guy that lost 20 grand like that, right?
Yeah, like he would have been just like probably got hit in the guts just as hard as I did. But
it was the simulator. It was in a different way. Yeah. That was it, dude. That is something else. I can't wait, and I hope that everybody listening to this or watching this gets to an Indy 500 at some point, or any type of IndyCar race whatsoever. It is just a majestic thing. I've fallen in love with it. I like to look at it, like I said, I call them like space cars. I consider you a rocket man. Most guys that ride that. It's a great song. You Elton John guy?
Yeah, I get him. Yeah, no dramas.
Can you sing Rocket Man?
No, I won't sing that for you right now, Chase. I'm sorry, mate.
Okay.
There's not very many guys that will.
Yeah, no, I think he does a way better job than I can do.
All right, I'll sing it for you one day.
Yeah, one day.
We'll have.
I'll guarantee you, I'll sing it for you if it came on at the club next time we're out.
All right, that's a bet. I'm gonna mark that down. Speaking of bets, by the way, second IndyCar driver that is about to go into Wheelman Wagers. Are you? I found out you're a football guy. We had to make sure it wasn't with the feet.
Yes, this motion.
I had 4 fantasy teams this year. That was.
Oh, did you win? Did you win a Super Bowl in any of them?
I got to one got to the playoffs, but then I was out. I got to the semis, and then I actually just I got beaten by like a dude. I think he had, I can't remember who it was, but he had like 50 points one week, and just he got lucky. It pissed me off actually, but anyway.
Dude, the guy that won our league. Well, I have a long history of this one dedicated league of like this crew of guys that I grew up with.
Yeah,
the guy that won our Super Bowl, and his Super Bowl week started like, I mean, the most obscure fucking players ever, and they all went off, and we all didn't want him to win, and he fucking won. Yeah, I've never finished last in my league in like 12 years of fantasy football, and I finished last this year because
one thing that screwed me, I had Jalen Hurts as my QB, and he was out those last 2 or 3 weeks, and it killed me because he was getting like 30, 35 points like a week without even trying.
He was a monster.
So I had to like rely on Daniel Jones, and that was just pull at the heartstrings pretty hard. He was all right, but he was going off and on like a light switch as well.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, Jalen Hurts. That scheme is so good with how they run the ball, and the volume of rush attempts that he gets was like it's insane. He's just a mega scoring guy. So yeah, the best team in our league had Jalen Hurts. Same thing. He lost in the semifinals because he had to start like I think he had to start Brock Purdy, and he didn't have the best game ever. And
I feel so bad.
That's fantasy football, man. It sucks. It's heartbreaking.
But we're
gonna talk real football here now. All right.
Love it.
So the divisional round, we had a super wild card weekend this weekend. It was a blast. A lot of really good football games. We're gonna start here with Saturday night. The Giants at the Eagles, division rivals. So the Giants are 7.5 point underdogs. The over-under is 48 points. And the Giants are plus 270 on the money line. Eagles are heavy favorites here to win this game. Give us your favorite bet out of everything I just said. You like the over, the under, the spread? Where should we go here?
No, I like this. I'll take the Eagles all day. -7.5. I think they could.
You think they cover that?
Yeah, I think they cover that. Yeah,
Dude,
I think that week off, Jalen Hurts can come back and just absolutely light off. They're going to be fine.
How about it? Dan Jones played really fucking good against Minnesota this past week.
But the thing is, he doesn't do it every week. That's the thing.
As you said, light switch.
And it's Minnesota. Like I think they've been frauds all year.
Yes, absolutely.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't that guy. Like his cost. Like Anyway, that's just. Oh,
I think this should be the last year for Kurt.
Yeah. What's
I
that?
I really do. They need to find a way. They need to find somebody else.
Yeah. It's his time. Yeah, it is time.
Prime time Kirk Cousins.
Too.
He's going to sell minivans now. All right, so we're going to go to the next game on Sunday, January 22nd. The Cincinnati Bengals will face off again with the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a big game everyone's going to be waiting for. 3 bets right here. The spread is going to be set at 5 with the Bills favored there. Over-under set at 49. And the Bengals money line +190, Bills money line -225. Which one of those would you want to roll with?
I think I take the over.
I like that. I'm a big over guy.
Yeah, no, I'd never take the under. That's for one thing. And I think the over, because I just think they're just 2 stud quarterbacks. They'll find a way with good wide receivers. I think they'll end up scoring a lot of points. And I don't think either of their defenses have been stellar. I mean, they're not unreal. So I think the over there for sure. Hard to pick out of those two, especially how Buffalo played last week, and even the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were going to destroy Baltimore, but they didn't. So
those division games, man, like those division games always just narrow everything, especially when you played each other twice already. I like Bengals there. I just have to say that. +5. Yeah. Give me Joe Burrow, man. They're great.
Yeah, I love Joe Burrow, man. He's like low key. Like that's one. I got a man crush on him. He's an absolute stud.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. I just love his attitude. His attitude just doesn't care.
He's just so cool, man. Like he's just like the coolest motherfucker in the National Football League right now. It's insane.
And he can play. And that's the best thing. He's just a sick dog. He's mad.
So I do like points there. I do like points there as well. But for the final game, we're going to go Cowboys at the 49ers. Pretty intriguing matchup, especially with how Dallas just played last night against the GOAT, knocked him out of the playoffs easily. 49ers just routed Seattle. The spread for this game, Niners are 3.5-point favorites at home. The over-under is 46. Cowboys are +160 on the money line. 49ers -190. For the final bet of the divisional round, Wheelman Wagers, where should we go?
Can I same game parlay one?
Why not?
Give it to us.
I'm going big here. I'm going big. Right. It's I'm taking the 49ers because I think they're very good. And I think they'll go to the Super Bowl. That's what I think. And then also I'm gonna take their points at over 46.
Okay. You want Niners -3.5 or money line?
No, -3.5. Sorry. I want Niners -3.5 with the over at 46.
Wow, an SGP. That's the first SGP we've gotten from anybody.
First SGP.
So that's amazing.
We do graphic cards now instead of videos, so this will play out perfectly. I'm trying to get the odds on that right now.
So if this is important.
I'm a big parlay guy. I love parlays.
Me too. Yeah. I'm a big touchdown parlay guy. That is the most fun thing. I love touchdown parlays. Yeah,
$5 sprinkle on one and just see how they go.
Honestly, I probably get a little too stupid with what I put on them, but
I'll probably
one in a million they pay off. But here's the thing. This is what's important here. So Ricky Stenhouse is on the top of the leaderboard at 3-0. Everything is based off of hypothetical units, right? So for every bet, it'd be a hypothetical 1 unit. So if you took a -200 money line versus taking a -110 spread, you're going to get more return by taking the -110 spread, right? Which could help you in the leaderboard if you tie with somebody. Yeah. If you want this final bet to be a parlay, then if you went 3-0, you would be number one
because you technically be 4-0.
Yep.
No, but Plus 264 are the odds on that SGP right there.
That's good odds. No, let's
So
go.
I love
it.
this.
Love that.
What you're doing right now, Scott, is you are like making your claim to say, I'm not fucking around with this 3-0 thing. Like I'm gonna one up it and make it to where no one can beat me.
Yeah, like I mean, if anyone wants the guts to run a same game parlay for the AFC and NFC playoffs, then be my guest. But
Didn't even have to ask him.
Yeah,
That's the energy that we need right there. That's what we want. That's what we love. We love it. All right, so we got those locked in. So Eagles minus 7.5, Bengals, Bills over 49, and then the first SGP same game parlay, Niners minus 3.5, and the over, which is 46, to make up.
Let's fucking ride.
Mclaughlin's Women Wagers.
Yeah, no, we're going big.
All right,
and we're big overs guys. We're massive overs guys too. Like we've got 2 overs in there. I really think that San Fran bet will hit. That's what I think. But
I love the confidence, man. And yeah, I love points too. Life is, as Barcelona Big Cat always says, life is too short to bet the under. I just can't.
It is.
Can't do it.
I literally ride with that guy. I ride with him. His can't lose parlay has hurt me a few times, but look, I like the guy.
It's just so fun. Yeah, it's just so fun to ride with him.
Yeah.
He radiates great energy.
I listen to those guys all the time. They are funny.
I love PFT.
Oh, dude, they're the guys.
Yeah. PFT is that's a wild boy right there. I love that guy.
Yeah. I'd love to just hang out with those two. It'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, it'll happen one day, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, do you make picks like this? That's a guarantee. That's going to catch some attention for sure. All right, so we've got it locked in here. Dude, this has been an incredible time, an incredible conversation. I can't wait to see you again at the Rolex and to kick it some at these races. St. Petersburg is going to be the first race of the IndyCar season. That'll be March
3rd through 5th, I think. 3rd through 5th.
Yeah.
March 3rd through 5th. And that's in Florida for anybody. If you're not going to the West Coast swing for NASCAR, there you go. So I cannot wait to hopefully be attending that, man. So it's gonna be fun. Thirsty 3 season. We've made some good claims on this show. We've made some predictions. We've had some good conversations, and I think for here, guess it's time to close out and let you get back to preparing for the Rolex 24 with Joseph. So we're gonna be rooting for you, man, and we thank you again for hopping on the show.
Where can we find you? Where can we find you on social media? Drop your handles.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. So I'm at Mclaughlin93, Instagram, Twitter. I think the same thing for Facebook. So I'm on all that. And if you really want to get businessy, I'm on LinkedIn as well, but we won't go that far.
Okay.
That's yeah.
All right.
I have my cheap suit LinkedIn photos on there.
You got Pinterest, bro?
Pinterest, no, I'm not.
I'm not a fucking
My wife
Pinterest
does, I
guy.
think, but I don't.
Dude, I feel like that doesn't even exist anymore.
And then on TikTok, I think I'm like user 567,848 or something.
That's the one that counts.
Yeah.
That's what we need to follow. All right, Scott. Well, look, we will talk to you again soon. Thanks so much. This has been Garage Talk, and we will see you again soon.